Let's check out this Inside Star Citizen.
The new implementation of the trespass system, the chat will no longer give you away, but it's not all benefits for the trespasser, because now the pilot can defend their ship without legal repercussions, which makes the trespasser at risk.
The owner obviously enters a ship as normal, doesn't see anything. The party member, same, steps aboard, doesn't see anything. This third player trying to sneak aboard will see a private property warning and then be trespassing. But, you know, you step off.
Oh, see, this is... I can understand it. Maybe it's kind of difficult. You still got to make... You got to make yourself aware this is a game we're playing here, but why would the player coming onto the ship, you know, as a game, sure, you go onto a ship and it tells you you're trespassing, so you know, so you're aware, just in case you weren't aware that you're doing something wrong. And it opens up gameplay because now they've got it so the people that do own the ship and are in the party don't actually see anything come up on their display, so they don't know you're in there. So you can trespass, you can sneak on, and it gives you gameplay, and you know, that's great. We want that. But it doesn't make any fucking sense, really, does it? Why would you get a message unless you were using a particular piece of software or technology? I mean, why would a notification come to you and you alone and not to anybody else on the ship? I mean, if everybody's got their helmets on, they're within the comm array that's sending out this message, they're within the ship's security systems that can see this person coming onto a ship, and they get the message, then why wouldn't the good guys, the owners of the ship, get a message too?
They will know that they're trespassing and feel that extra danger when they board somebody else's ship as they are in a monitored area.
We're really excited to give you guys this. It's been a long time coming, we know, but it was just not as simple as the trespassing around areas, which was just a simple action area. This has so many edge cases, as you can imagine. You can actually nest trespassing, so you can have someone else's ship aboard your ship, and you can be in a trespass area, and we have to figure out like which trespass trumps the other trespassers.
See, this is where this notification comes into play. The danger for the person who's trespassing is death. You're allowed to shoot trespassers in Star Citizen. So, you know, not having a notification come up to let you know is pretty kind of harsh. But I want the game to make sense, and I want there to be real thought into your actions, real thought in what you're doing, you know? When you come to a comm array and it's got restricted access, if you're wearing a Moby glass and you've got the standard set of like security features open on the Moby glass, then you can expect notifications and it will get sent to that device, which will then send it to your helmet, or maybe it'll go straight to your helmet, depending on what kind of equipment you have. And it makes absolute sense. But what doesn't make sense is for someone to get a trespassing message up on their helm, and the people inside the ship whose ship it belongs to don't get a message to say that somebody's trespassing on your ship. What if I tell you you can come aboard? What then? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not in a party, so I can kill you and you can't do anything. Yeah, well, again, that comes down to that comm array security system again, the security monitoring, right? They need to have it set up so you can authorize a Moby glass wearer. These Moby glasses are sophisticated pieces of kit, just like our phones are in the real world here now, which we can use to identify ourselves, right? It's a step up from having a driver's license in your wallet. These Moby glasses, they could be attuned to your biometrics, and you should be able to bring up a menu and say, look, I'm not inviting this person into a party or into this team. We don't want them on the comms channel or whatever. We're just saying, look, it's okay for this biometric readout, this Moby glass wearer to come aboard, in which case the comm array can see that they're legally aboard, and if you shoot them then you're fucked. Just have cameras in ships? Yeah, cameras, security systems in ships that can pick up those mobiGlas readings. Maybe people come on board without a mobiGlas. They don't have a reading to pick up, but you've got cameras, you've got security systems aboard a ship that can detect motion and heat and, just standard security for your vehicle, just like we have immobilizers on cars. From a gameplay sense, though, I do like the idea. You're in your ship and now, right, guys, secure the ship, make sure there's no stowaways aboard. I like it. I like that idea. But I'd like to be able to do that if we're not within a comm area. We're in a zone that's, just out of range of security systems. It's not a safe zone, so we don't get notifications coming up. And if so, you've got to do a good old-fashioned visual sweep of your ship to make sure nobody's trying to sneak aboard. And shoot you and steal your stuff, right? And maybe there are ships that are more sophisticated, or maybe you can put in CPU shards that have security upgrades and can monitor your ship for you. It all depends on what sort of technician kind of side or engineering side when it comes to building your ships out, equipping them. What you decide to do. Do you want that automated security, or are you going to have to go out there and do it yourself? Are you in a safe zone? So, you've got your mobiGlas on. You'll get notifications pop up on the MFDs. They pop up on your helmet. This is the kind of thing I want to see in Star Citizen. I'm not just talking about it right now, right off the top of my head. This is why they should employ me and pay me £20,000 a year salary. I can write all these ideas down for them. They can get on with it.
So you're being hired to scrap all the identifiable markings and paint, and you have a certain time limit.
It's the first mission really to have fail timer. So if you don't take the skin off of this ship in time, the police will turn up, instantly clock it and say, this is Ninetales and you'll have failed your job.
Okay, I'm not a lover of timed missions. I never like that pressure really, but obviously, still a good mission type to have in the game. What I don't want, and I said, but it's okay at the moment, I suppose, with the UI that we have, and I don't want an actual timer on these missions. This isn't the Star Citizen immersive kind of feel that I want from the game, where you get a timer and you've got 5 seconds left exactly, otherwise you fail the mission. In which case you also might see, you've got 60 seconds left and that, there's no way I'm going to be able to scrape the rest of this off in 60 seconds. So I'll just give up and fly away. Instead, we rush in, we do the job as fast as we can, and we prepare defensively for anybody that might come in, security rise, or maybe we prepare ourselves ready to make a quick exit. But we never know exactly when that's going to happen. Maybe Ninetales says, look, you've got a few hours, that's it, you need to be in and out. Perhaps it can give you a kind of an estimated time, maybe, because it is still a game, and saying you've got a few hours, I don't know really how that would translate. I don't know what you guys feel like on that, but I reckon at the end of the day, we're probably going to end up with timers, aren't we?
If you do want to get greedy, you can still get greedy. You can still start taking parts off. That isn't part of a mission. You can still go aboard, and there's probably going to be, really valuable things aboard. Okay,
yeah. See, that's another part of the risk. Unless you've got that actual timer on there, then you can go, well, I've got time, yes, or no, I haven't. At least a little bit, or quite a bit more with confidence when you got that clock up there on display. Or you just watch your radar, and when a ship turns up from the UEE, you need to go in 30 seconds or whatever. Yeah, something like that as well, Flack, yeah. And that comes in with the teamwork and the ships and the components on your ships. How you've set yourself up, how you've prepared yourself for the mission. You could have a teammate out there scanning for incoming UEE in particular, or maybe, you're winging it as a solo person, or you're just being a bit lazy. And if you are that way, then, well, you have to deal with the repercussions of not being good at the game. Where this sort of thing, these sort of missions, that's where Team Brigade is going to shine.
We built a new system, a new module, which we're calling the anti-up system. It allows us to spawn increasingly difficult waves of AI that will approach and attack the player while they're at a location.
The AI coming out of it grow.
See, that's kind of gamey as well. I mean, the whole wave thing, especially when you look at that up on the UI, you know, wave 1 incoming, wave 2, they get progressively more difficult. I don't mind it getting more difficult in a sort of dungeony kind of feel, like the deeper you go into one of these new bunkers, the higher the security might be and the more intelligent they are. As you can imagine, the deeper into a bunker is probably where the more secure stuff would be kept.
Unfortunately, like, I play more on the lawful side of things, so if it's like a bunker mission where I have to kill like security guards, I'll be less inclined to do it.
Yeah, it's the same with me as well. Just too much of a goody two-shoes. Axiom, you agree, but security should be hard from the start. Yeah, that's true. And having to deal with it in one go, not like having 5 waves or more. Yeah, no, I don't like that either. And yeah, I agree with you. I was thinking that when I was saying about how difficult it would get further into a bunker, and I think that still is suitable. I think, you know, further into one of the newly designed bunkers, you could imagine a little bit more savvy, higher paid security, securing the the areas that have got secretive data or whatever. Whereas the front entrance might be a little bit more of your typical grunts. But yeah, still, I don't want to play Star Citizen in a way where I can go, right, this is what we've got. You know the drill, guys. It's going to be really easy going in. And it's going to be really difficult in that last room. I'd rather it be mixed and you don't know what you're going to get exactly. Maybe one of those elite security guards has finished their shift and they're on their way out, but they're still fully armored and gunned. And maybe you meet one of those guys a little bit later on, or maybe one of the grunts is actually a veteran. He's been a little bit of a rebel lately. Maybe he's been down on his luck and he's had a bit of a drinking problem and he's got relegated in his duties, but he's sober today and he's pretty skillful on that trigger, you know? I don't want it to be waves, like you say, Axiom. It's wave after wave. Leave that for Arena Commander. Don't put it in my PU. Go in from above, go in from below, go in stealthily, go in sneakily and come out all guns blazing. Yeah, having options depending on what you find more enjoyable, depending on what kind of team you have with you, what equipment you might have, what you come up against presently. And then you go to a bunker and you don't just go, right, well, this is one of the very hard missions. It gives this payout. We know what to expect, kind of thing. I'd like to, you want to be able to prepare to a certain level, but I'd also like to get to a location and go and be prepared for plan B and plan C. Be prepared for something that might happen when you get there. Maybe you go to a bunker and for whatever reason, they've got a tank outside, which you don't usually see. And maybe if you just bought 5 of your best teammates with you with long arms and medium armor or something, maybe you think to yourself, oh shit, they've got a tank outside the front. We're probably not going to be able to get in our usual method. Let's try something different. That's the kind of thing I want to see in Star Citizen. And that's the next level, next generation gaming as well. Otherwise, if it's just waves, we've got that in games already. We've had that in games for the last 20 years. Let's move on and do something different, something better, something more real.
How much players want to go for the extra bonus loot, whether it's worth the risk of staying if they are low on ammo or are being overwhelmed.
Yeah, see, this is it. That risk reward, how prepared you are at the beginning, how events turned out in the end. And like he says there, maybe you're low on ammunition. Perhaps you haven't got a care package incoming from one of your teammates. Maybe there's no cache of ammo nearby. And you got to give up at that stage, or maybe you continue a little longer and think, look, if we do get some heavy-handed forces come in, at least we're ready to go. We've got some firepower. Let's stay a little longer and see what else we can grab from here.
1, 4, 2.